Hello and welcome to our 10th episode of The Little Inside. My name is still Tobi, and this week we are going to have a look at the subject of seeing truth with kind eyes. Let's get started right after the intro. Seeing truth with kind eyes. So there are really two elements to that. The first one is the element of seeing, and the second one is the element of kindness. And here in this practice, on this particular way of practicing, we are going to combine those two elements. What is the benefit of seeing, of really looking at your present moment experience without any verbalization, with a still mind, simply observing the truth of this moment? Well, one of the benefits would be that you get to understand truth, and not only intellectually, but you see directly. For example, the arising and passing of every phenomenon in every second with every breath. Another benefit would be that through seeing that everything continuously arises and passes, that you develop dispassion, which means that you become less clingy, less sticky to these phenomena, and more relaxed. The third benefit would be to liberate yourself through this practice from suffering. So seeing is, in a way, liberating. Through the practice of observing or being aware of the arising and passing of all phenomena, we slowly learn to step back, and we slowly learn to disidentify ourselves from things that don't last. Well, usually we're very identified with things that are arising and passing within our consciousness all the time. So we are identified very much with this body, we're identified very much with our emotions, and such type of identification leads to a whole lot of unnecessary suffering. So that's the reason why we actually develop the power of seeing. When it comes to the element of kindness, now what are the benefits? Well, one benefit for sure is that whatever you are looking at with kind eyes, it tends to soften and to dissolve. Now, if you're, for example, looking at an emotion, like let's say anger arises in your mind, and you see it, and then you are allowing it to be there, and you see it with a smile, with softness. You're relaxing around your anger, you're softening around your anger, you're allowing this anger to be there, you give it space, and you see it a little bit like an old friend that comes and visits you. So first, that you see that the anger is not really you. It's in front of you, and you are allowing it to be there. You're the one actually giving it space, and you're the one treating it kindly. So when your anger is seen in such a way, it can't help but to soften, to relax, and finally to dissolve actually. It also overcomes aversion actually, or ill will. If you have aversion towards your meditation objects, for example, let's say you have aversion towards focusing on your breath, it helps a great deal to see your breath with kind eyes. Like a good friend, with warmth, with friendliness, makes it so much easier to feel comfortable with your breath. And that's really the point. Now, if you imagine that your breath will come to visit you for your meditation practice, and your breath comes and visits you, wants to have a good time with you. Now, your breath wouldn't stay for a very long time if you are kind of controlling it and commanding it around the room. If you tell it, please sit there, now do this, go in, go out, faster, deeper, you need to breathe deeper. And then you start to control your breath like this, your breath really doesn't feel like it wants to stay. If you see it like this, it's a bit like a it's a kind of a funny way of illustrating it, but that's in a similar way, it's like this in meditation. So we learn to look at our breath with kindness, so it naturally wants to stay with us. It doesn't need to escape. If we're looking at our mind with kindness, then it's really the same thing. The mind becomes comfortable. And why does it become comfortable? Because aversion is fading away. Finally, kindness has a great healing power. It reveals where we hurt emotionally, and it allows for that pain to find space and to dissolve in that space. And this is a very great attribute of kindness that I find when I sit and meditate, and in my meditation practice something comes up, like let's say fear. Then if I look at the fear with kindness, the fear doesn't stay very long. Since I'm looking at it, I understand it, I see that it is fear. Fear is like this. And I'm also not resisting it, I'm not fighting it. So basically my attitude towards the fear, the way I look at it, how I look at it, is totally different. Usually we consider fear to be something bad, so naturally we would resist it, and most people don't notice just how they are resisting things in their meditation practice. So kindness helps us to let go of that resistance, and by that it allows these old things that we carry around with ourselves for a long time often can heal actually in that space. We're making friends with ourselves. We're not resisting ourselves. So that's the healing benefit of kindness. So now you might wonder how to practice that. I have uploaded, as usual, a guided meditation over on SoundCloud that will guide you through a meditation on this particular topic step by step. But to explain you shortly, really it's all about receiving an emotion at first within your knowing field. So that means you are seeing that whatever emotion arises, it is like this. Let's say, for example, a very popular example like anger. You're sitting there and maybe you get annoyed, okay? So you sit there and the time seems to pass very slow, and then you get annoyed in your meditation practice. So when this annoyed feeling comes up in you, the first thing is to acknowledge it. Aha, there is annoyance. And you want to put it into this kind of sentence maybe, if it helps you. There is annoyance. Not I am annoyed, but it is there. There is annoyance. It has arisen. And that's the first step. You train yourself like this. There's annoyance, there's anger, there's happiness, there's wanting. Whatever comes up, identify it. See it for what it is. Step number 2, feel it in your body. You want to locate the feeling in your body. Let's say it is annoyance. Now, where do you feel annoyed? Do you feel it in your shoulders? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your belly? If you feel it in your heart, for example, then localize the feeling exactly where it is. You want to really feel where it exactly is. Where does it reside? It's a bit on the left side, or is it on the right side a bit more? And then notice how the feeling is like. Is it buzzing, or is it expanding? Is it contracting? Is it vibrating in a strange way? Is it alive? Is it stagnant? Identify exactly how it moves. Not so much by giving it labels or names, but by just really feeling into it and being aware of the dance of your emotion in your body. Step 3 is to see it with kindness. Once you have located in your body, you want to find a soft spot around the feeling, or kind of relaxing around the feeling. If you want to imagine it like you're holding something very tightly, and then you're releasing the tightness of your grip a little bit. And you're opening up a little bit. You're allowing the feeling to become a bit more relaxed. So you want to relax the tension physically that is around that emotional sensation in your body. So there's this annoying feeling. I recognize it. I see it is annoyed. I allow it to be annoyed. It is annoyance. Annoyance is like this. Second step, I see deeper into it. I feel it. I localize it in the body. I see it's in the heart area. It is buzzing around. I allow it to buzz around there. And the third step would be to relax around that buzzing sensation, giving it more and more space. Now, when that feels comfortable, you want to enjoy that comfort and allow that to grow by paying attention to it. When it grows, you might naturally feel like you want to smile at your annoyance. It's not a threat anymore. It is actually something that's quite cute. Maybe even you can see your annoyance as being something very cute, a cute kind of condition. And by that, your annoyance cannot stay very long. It will immediately dissolve. It has been seen, it's done its job, and then it's time for it to pass. For some emotions, it takes quite a bit of time for this dissolving process, and you have to do that frequently, again and again and again. And for other emotions, it will pass rather fast, and this emotion will not return very many times because you have really fully seen and understood it. So there is no need for it to kind of, to push for you to see it. So this is the way of practicing these 3 steps. The first one, again, I repeat one more time. The first one is see the emotion for what it is. Annoyance is like this. Experience it for a while. Secondly, localize it. Where do you experience it exactly in the body? The third one is to then soften around it, relax around it, find the joy as you relax, give it more and more space, and allow it to slowly, slowly fade away within your quiet, composed, and calm mind. So episode 10 is coming to an end, and I hope you enjoyed it. You found something that is meaningful for you. As always, if you have any questions or comments, just write them down in the comment section below. And I hope to see you again next week. I'm uploading these videos every Wednesday. And until then, I wish you a wonderful week and a nice practice. Bye-bye.